Hello, Stampers. Lisa Tabor here, coming to you from Ontario, Canada. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today, I have actually a guest demonstrator who is visiting for the weekend, and we made these really cute impossible boxes that Julie DiMaddeo from the Paper Pixie has a demo video on, and she does such a good job of them. So we were sitting around this morning just making cards and things, and my other girlfriend said, we should make one for wine. And so my friend Doreen, who's also a demonstrator here in Ontario, she's one of my downlines, decided that, yes indeed, we were going to make one for a bottle of wine. So here is the culprit right here, and it works the same. It works the same.
Might be a little stiff. It's just done.
It's brand new, so it's a little stiff. She just made it like an hour ago. Let me see. Oh, here we go. So then this pops open. The wine goes in. And then the lid closes, and unfortunately my camera is so close you can't see it. But there you go. And there's the box, and there's the wine inside. And then when you give it to your host of dinner or wherever you're going, then it just pops out like this, and they think you're a genius for making such a fabulous box. So today she's going to not be making a Christmas one, but making a Valentine one with the new, what's it called even? Heartfelt Sweet, which is in the, oh, I'm not supposed to show you that. Sorry. Whew! Almost blew that out of the water. I can show you the front of the catalog, but I'm not allowed to show you the inside of it until January 3rd. So, oh, that was close. Anyway, so what we're using is the Heartfelt bundle. Comes with, I bought the suite, and I got this beautiful stamp set, Heartfelt stamp set. It's photopolymer. It's absolutely stunning. And that, if you bundle it, comes with these two punches. Now, if you buy them as a bundle, sorry about the glare. I know I'm always complaining about the glare, right? If you buy it as a bundle, you get these two punches and this stamp set. And if you buy the suite, there's a beautiful package of foiled heart papers. I just have a couple of them here to show you, but of course all of our DSP papers are double-sided. Aren't they gorgeous? And Doreen's going to be using some of these. And there's also these cute little food-safe muffin tins that you can actually bake in. And they come in a little box. There's 10 in a box. And then you can fill them up with candies or cookies, or even bake a little muffin or something in there. Aren't they adorable? So that's the Heartfelt Sweet. And oh, Doreen actually made one this weekend. She's here for our monthly get-together that we craft the whole weekend. Some days we don't even get dressed. It's fabulous. So this is what she made with that little goodie tin. I don't know what you call it. Little goodie tin. And she put some Ferrero Rocher in there. No, sorry, Lindor's. But aren't they cute? Adorable, adorable. So I'm going to let Doreen take over, and she's going to show us how to make this amazing box. Oops, now I can't get it back together. But I was blown away. We were just sitting here making the little ones, and my other friend Kelly, who's also a demonstrator, said, we should make one for wine. And no word of a lie, within 10 minutes, Doreen had the math done, and she's starting to do a prototype. She just boggles my mind. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to let Doreen take over, and she's going to create one of these boxes for you.
Thank you very much, Lisa. This has been a very fun weekend, and I've enjoyed it so much. So I'm going to move our little samples out and Big Red out. Say bye, Big Red.
All
So-
right. Just tell me what you need, and I'll get it for you.
Okay. You're going to need, for a wine box, 4 sheets of cardstock. And you're going to need your new cutter,
Paper trimmer.
paper trimmer, So just bear with me for a second. I'm just going to move a few items out of the way so I don't knock the camera over. So no, oh, there we go. I was afraid, but they're very sturdy. So we're going to start on the construction of the bottom of the box. So we're going to cut our DSP 7 inches wide by 11 inches long. Cardstock, yes, thank you. So I'm going to trim it. Oh, there's our... And we're going to put this aside because we'll need it later on. So I'm just going to put that aside. And I'm going to take the second piece and line it up to 7 inches and trim. Again, we're going to put this aside as well. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in score marks. The first score marks, and we're going to do them the length of the paper. We're going to do it at 3 1/4 inches. And then we're going to do it at 6 1/2 inches. And it's hard to see. Oh, it's glowing a little bit. You can sort of see the score marks. And we're going to repeat on the second piece of cardstock that we just trimmed down. So again at 3 1/4 inches. And again at 6 1/2 inches. Now, ensuring that the smaller section from the score line to the edge of the paper is at the top of our trimmer, we are going to score at 3 1/4 inches across the smaller length of the paper. And we're going to repeat that for the second piece, again ensuring that the smaller section is at the top. And we're going to score. Now this is our bottom section, and because we need to have a fairly large piece, and unfortunately Stampin' Up! Doesn't have paper big enough to do this because it's over 14 inches, we need to piece it together. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take some tear and tape, and we're just going to put it on this section. Actually, may I have the paper snips, please?
Yep.
Thank you. We're going to cut away a little wedge, and then we're going to cut one of these sections out. Oh. Just don't snip your fingers. Trust me, it hurts. So we're just going to put tear and tape along this edge here. You can put 1 or 2 strips. Tear and tape's a pretty tough tape, so 1 strip should be ample for the sides. It's not going to contain the weight of the bottle. And then we're going to release our tape. So ensuring that we have the straight edge, not the one with the smaller scored area. We're going to line up our papers and put down. Okay. We can also at this stage cut up our score line that we did at here to the 3 1/4 inch stop. We had a discussion on the strength of the bottom of the box, and one of my suggestions was before you assembled the box together, you start folding it, and then when you have 3 sides together that you staple the bottom of the box and the last flap hides it, or put a nice wide ribbon around it just to give it a bit more strength, so if you pick the box up the wine's not going to come out. Has not been tested for carrying a box of wine. Just saying.
I'll go grab my stapler.
Thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the cutter out for just a second. And I'm going to find my bone folder. And I'm just going to do these lines, sort of get the bottom pre-assembled. or pre-folded. We don't want to assemble it just yet, but it helps for when we do the top, because it's a bit of a, you have to kind of look and see that you're all going to be on the same track with the folds. So we're going to fold that up, and we're going to give it a nice crease. Okay, so that's the bottom of our box. I'm going to set it aside, but I want to keep it in my vision range so that I ensure that my top is going to match beautifully. So for the top, we're going to take the last 2 pieces of cardstock. We are going to cut it to 10 inches, no, 10.5 inches, sorry. I'm going from my memory, and sometimes it's, did I write it on there? Okay, we're going to cut it at 10.5 because you know what? We can always cut it down if we need to.
Yeah, 10.5 by 7.
Okay, 10.5 by 7 inches. So let's do each one at a time, then we know we've got the right cuts. Okay, so we're going to do by 7. So we're going to do 10.5. I love this trimmer because it has wonderful markings, so you can easily see. There's no guesswork. And it does a beautiful cut.
It really does.
What an amazing improvement. So now what we're going to do, like on the bottom half, we're going to score lengthwise. 3 1/4, and it gives you enough room that you don't even have to lift it to advance the paper. And 6 1/2. I'm just going to set that aside for now. We're going to do the next one. We're going to do 3 1/4 by 6 1/2. Again, we're going to be joining these pieces, so you have to keep in mind which way you're putting your paper in your trimmer for more scoring. If you always keep the smaller section of the scored area at the edge of your trimmer, you'll always be on the right side. So the next set of scoring lines is going to be at 2 inches. Again, the shorter area of my score line, it's hard to see with the red on the camera, is at the top of the trimmer edge. So I'm going to do it at 2, 4, and 6. Okay, it's hard to see. I know sometimes we can get a good shot of score lines, sometimes we can't.
Could you bring it closer to the camera and see?
Let's see. Yep, you can sort of see the score lines. So again, shorter section of the score area against the edge of the ruler, cutting. We're going to score at 2, 4, and 6. Okay, so now that is our top sections scored. It's a little fussy, so I'm actually going to pass this off. Thank you very much.
No problem. I'll just put it here if you need it again.
Yeah, we're going to when we do the joining strips. So what we're going to do is we're going to put tear and tape on the bottom section of the top, if that makes any sense. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this section out.
Easier if you hold the other part down.
Yeah. Would be too easy. Okay, so we're only going to put tear and tape in this section here for now, and I'll explain why afterwards. Okay, so again, we want to line up our paper so that the edge of the paper is on the edge of that score. Give it a nice press, and now we have the top side done. This is sometimes a little hard to figure out the folding because it's fold one here, fold back, fold forward. The easiest way I found is I'm going to turn it over. So this is my front side. Turn it over so you can see the back side, there's a join. We're going to fold that edge down, and we're going to fold this edge down. I'm going to get my bone folder, give it a nice crease. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is at the next fold line, which is your 4" from the edge, I'm going to fold up, and then I'm going to fold the second piece up, and I'm going to give it a nice crease. And you're wondering what's going on with this tab here. It's a little hard to see, this tab here. Well, we'll show you how to get that so it looks nice. I'm going to turn it over again. So this is the front of my box. I'm going to fold the one section down.
That's where I went bad when I made mine.
We had so much fun. We were laughing so hard. Our sides were aching by the end of this. It's quite hilarious. And then I'm going to fold the next one.
I think my husband thought we were drinking.
This tab here, if we had put it together like we did at the bottom, this is what I made the mistake of. The tab's on the back side, and if it was backside here, when it's folded, it's actually wrong. It's on the now on the front side. We don't want that, so we're going to carefully pop it to the back. Just carefully do it, and that's why I didn't want to tape it before, so you can understand why we were doing it backwards in most people's mind. And now we can put a bit of tear and tape.
By most people, she means me.
I'm not saying anything. We're going to release the tape, and what I'm going to do is not keep it folded so I can line up the edge nicely, because I want a nice edge. And then just give it a good press, and then that is actually the top of the box, but we need to do some cutting. So if you could hand my prototype for me.
Yes?
Yes, please, thank you. This is the prototype that I did. I used some retired colors, which is a great way of using, you know, the beautiful cardstock for templates and things like that. You're not too using up your gorgeous colors that are going with everything right now. We can use up this wonderful cardstock. We need to cut these wedges, and it looks like in the quilting world, flying geese.
Yep.
So that's what we need to do next.
Do you want this still here?
Not just there, because I kind of need a visual, because I'm not really mastered this yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep the flap folded. We're going to turn this up. Okay? We are then going to take our snips, and we're going to cut down to the 2" mark at the score line. I lost the word score for a minute. It just went.
Yeah.
And again here. And at the half-inch mark, the tab, we're also going to cut to there. Okay? And then we could cut just on the slight angle up. Okay, and we're just, of course I didn't quite get that. So what we need to do now, if I could get a pencil and a ruler, please. I found that when I did the box, I marked it at 1 inch, and it gave a little, sorry, it's hard to show in the camera, small opening, which is fine because we can put a nice, tie a nice bow around there, or put our little gift tag on a string to hide that. And really it doesn't matter, it's just a tiny hole.
Nice.
So putting it to the edge of our ruler, or you can use the wonderful grid paper because it's got markings on it. So we're going to mark from this cut edge 1 inch in. From this cut, or the score line that we've trimmed, I'm just going to put it on inch markings to make it easier. I'm going to do 1 inch. Again, I'm going to do 1 inch, and the last one 1 inch. So this paper not only protects your work surface, it also becomes a measuring guide for us. But what we need to do is we need to cut a large wedge, and I can't cut straight unless there's a line. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm just going to do a light marking. I can always erase it, I'm not too concerned. Most likely I will chop it off anyways. Okay. So keeping this still folded, I'm going to take my snips. Sometimes the first one's the hardest, is just holding it, and holding it for the camera too. And I'm going to try and cut a nice straight line and cut that wedge off. Again, I'm going to do it here. And sometimes getting into the corners, you might have to give it a little bit more of a snip, just because either one didn't match up or the other. Sorry, my hands are in the way. We'll do the third one. Trim, and then the final one. Trim. So we'll just get those out of the way. So now if I open it up completely, we have our flying geese. Ta-da! Ta-da! I'm just going to give it one more crease. Okay. And now we need to join our top to our bottom. And to do that, I'm going to take our handy dandy cutter, and we're going to score those pieces left over from when we cut the sides off. So we need to cut it 7 inches long. Oops, can't cut with the scoring. So both pieces, we need 2 pieces at 7 inches long. And then we're going to score at 3 1/4 and 6 1/2. Again, repeat. 3 1/4 by 6 1/2. We are going to join these pieces together. So on the short area of the score, we are going to join. Give it a good press. Get the tape stuck well. And join our 2 pieces. And then we're just going to kind of pre-fold. Okay. I'm going to remove this again. I'm just going to put that there. So what we need to do is we need to put this, cover the distance half, oops, the right way, half onto the top card. We can either do glue or we can do tape, your choice. I sometimes like to use the glue when I do this because I can wiggle it around a bit. I know it seems like an excess amount of glue, probably is. So about half. And then I'm going to turn it over, and you can probably see much better now that where it is here. So it's a good half. And I want to now join my bottom half. Now remember, this is the good side, so I have to remember to put the good side, okay? This is where sometimes you get mixed up and you accidentally glue the bad side, not the bad side, the wrong side. So we're going to apply glue. And then I ran just a very thin line of glue at the edge here. So when I squish the paper together, it has a little bit of a bond. And I did it too.
What did you do?
Well, we kind of had a oops. And you know what? I'll show you how to fix it because it's hard when you're working with two pieces of paper.
Oh, did you do what I did?
Yeah.
I don't feel so
And
bad.
one of my score lines is not quite right. Here, I'm off a hair here. Let me just measure to make sure. See what I did wrong. I did it at 3 inches, not 3 1/4. But you know what? It will be hidden by the DSP we're going to apply. So we're going to fix my mistake. Paper is very forgiving some days.
Some days.
Some days. I'm going to, Lise, could you get me your, out of your scoring pad?
Oh, the status?
Yeah, please, thank you. I can't get the paper into the cutter, unfortunately.
You want the score?
The scoring tool, that's all I need.
Just the tool.
Just the tool. Thank you. So paper is wonderful because you know what? I can just score again and fix my, oops. I'm not too concerned that my tabs are on opposite ends because that we can fix. I'm just gonna give my paper here a little trim. There we go. There's always a way to fix something. Okay? So I am going to trim this piece off. Just so, I know it's going to look funny, but if I had measured my scoring properly, I wouldn't have this uniqueness. That's what we say in the sewing world when people make unique things. And I'm just going to rescore everything because now we've got all these layers and we just need to give it a firm grip. All right. So at this stage of the game is where we're going to now decorate our box. So this is the front of the box. We can obviously see a seam line. Not what we really want to see, but that will be hidden in no time. I'm just going to put this aside for a moment. I'm going to get our beautiful DSP from the new Valentine's collection. And I think we're going to use the small hearts because it's pretty. We need to trim this to 10 inches. So I'm going to extend my arm here. We're going to trim 10 inches. We're going to save this piece. We are going to cut then 4 sections of 3 inches by 10 inches. And do cut the 2 inches off the bottom first, especially if you have directional paper, such as these hearts, because then they will fit nicely around the top of your box. So we're going to trim this down to 1 3/4. And then we're going to trim it into 3-inch sections. So 3-inch by 1 3/4. Okay. So I'm going to get my trimmer out of the way. I'm going to bring back in my flat box, and I'm going to glue my sections on. Ooh, the stripes are pretty too. Stripes or hearts? Quick.
What about 1 and 1? No, stripes, please.
Okay. That was quick. So on the heart side, we're going to apply glue. Oops, a little heavy-handed there, but that's okay. And I'm going to cover up my oops section first, because you know we don't want to. Ooh, we're a little heavy-handed there. Let's take some.
Making a mess.
Yep. Okay. I always have a little sponge or lint-free cloth, and you can scoop up the excess.
Do you need anything?
No, I'm fine, thank you. So you can see that seam line is disappearing real quick because it's being covered by this beautiful DSP paper. Alrighty. Just give it a second to stick down. So we've got it all now beautifully applied with our DSP. We're going to turn it over, and what I want to do, it's quite a large piece right now, is I want to show you what on the top side, because you can actually see the difference now with the DSP on. I want to fold this up so it looks like this, okay? And it has a mind of its own, so you want to keep it in place, so just fold it up like that. You can give it another pass with your bone folder. Just kind of, you know, get it into shape there. And what I'm going to do is, I thought of putting in a couple of staples just to give a little bit more strength to the bottom of the box. Again, it hasn't been tested of carrying a bottle of wine around, but I want to make sure I have my pieces here folded. So what I'm going to do is, this is going to be my last piece I fold in. So I'm going to take this piece here, and then this piece here. If you don't want to staple, you can put a drop of glue on each section, just so that there is strength. Now I was thinking, when I staple it, I want to have the flat side of the staple on the outside of the box, so that there won't be any ridge to when I put the last piece in. So it's a little awkward, but we are crafters, we can do this. So you can see there's, oops, can you see? There's 4, I put 4 staples in, and that to me would give it a bit more secure. I'm not going to really put the last piece in yet till I get this glued together. So what I want to do is, with my tear and tape now, is do this side here. And this flap here. Now, if I had paid a little bit better attention to when I was scoring the top, or putting the top together, I would have made sure I didn't have a split seam. but you'll never notice it anyways. It's just going to be a little shade awkward putting it together, but we can handle this. So I'm going to take the release off both edges, and I'm going to try to do this without getting my fingers in the way. I have a problem. Good thing I have glue, because I can lift up this corner here, because I need to tuck this in, because that is the joining. See, glue does have its wonderful features. For sure, we have some time. And then I'm going to put this in like so. And there is our box. I'm just going to give it a crease like so. So there's our box. So at the bottom of our box, we've got the flap. Now it is open in little areas here, so maybe I'll just put like a drop of glue just inside to keep that corner tucked down. And then here I'm going to put a little fair amount of glue. Oops. Okay. I don't want to go too close to the edge because I've put quite a fair amount of glue on, and hold it in. Alright, so that the bottom of the box is now fully assembled. The top, we're almost done. What we want to do is this particular flap has to go behind this flap. So it's easy to do when you push the top down to make sure everything fits well. It's not going to line up perfectly because of the bulk of the cardstock here. So we're going to put a little bit of glue on the leading edge of this flap. We're going to put it behind. We're going to close our box. And then we're going to squish. The glue's going to come out a bit, but you know what? We can just take our cloth and wipe it off. Oh. Hold it for just a second till it sets. So now we've got the top of our box done. We have the bottom of our box done. What I'd like to do is I'm going to put a couple of mini glue dots around. I'm going to use the point of my scissors. I should have had my pick tool. That's okay, we got the scissors. And I'm just going to put a dot sort of on that line where the seam is. I've got to be careful I don't stick it to the paper when I'm turning it. And I think 2 dots should be enough. We're going to take some of the beautiful red ribbon that comes in the package, and I'm just going to say, yeah, oops, this way. That one doesn't have a glue dot. This will help hide that seam. Not that you can really see it, but it just gives it that finishing touch. And we'll put one more glue dot here. One more glue dot. And then we're going to tie our bow. I don't think you need to put a large bow, but just a nice quaint little bow's fine. Oops. I'm not the best bow tire, so please forgive my bows. I'll let Lisa fix that up. So there's the bow there. So now we're going to make our little gift tag that we can put on. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this beautiful DSP paper that has, I'll just put this aside, has the hearts on. we are going to cut it out with the scalloped edge stamp. Punch, sorry. I'll just go down to here. It actually, sorry, I need to look at it for a second. It lines up beautifully with the scallop of the punch. Obviously it was made for the punch. We then are going to get our real red stamp pad. We are going to get our Stampin' Pierce mat. And I think what we're going to put in is so lucky to have a friend like you. Because that's a nice sentiment you can use on most people. And Miss Lise, may I have a block?
Oh, of course.
We forgot all about the block.
About a block. Sorry about that.
That's all right. I think the B block should be fine. Oh, okay. Or D.
Which one did you want?
That's all right. If it's
Okay.
so, I'm going to stamp. Remember to kiss the stamp pad, not to beat it to death. We only want ink on the stamp pad, not around it. And we're going to stamp it in the center of the heart. And we have our sentiment. I'm just going to wipe that off. Just because with the red it does like to stain quite quickly. So now we can attach this any way we'd like. I think what would be nice is to maybe do a better bow and attach it to the top of the bow or just even below it. You don't want to put it on top of here because when you open the box, that is going to disappear those edges. So when I open, you can see that the edges are now going inside the box. So we don't want to put it there. You can put it on the edge of the box like so, but I think it would be nice just below the bow. So we're going to put it here. So I'm going to get a little glue dot. You don't need many because it's, so I'll just put 2. And we're going to put it on the box. And now our wine box is complete. I hope you enjoyed this video. And Lisa will put on her blog, I'm sure, the actual cutting directions for this after I write them up for her.
That would be good.
So don't expect it today. It will soon follow. But, oops, I have a glue dot up here. See, I told you I would get one on it. Fortunately, they do come off quite easily. So thank you very much. And again, I'll let Lisa take over.
Great. Thanks so much, Doreen. That's
welcome.
Awesome. So I'll hopefully be making a few of these over the Christmas season to take a bottle of wine when we go to various places since we're not having Christmas at home. So while I've got your attention, I just want to add a couple of things. Celebration is starting in a few weeks on January the 3rd. If you're not familiar with Celebration, it's kind of a thank you from Stampin' Up, and for every $60 you spend, you get to choose something out of this Celebration brochure. One of the things that's available during Celebration also is that if you decide to join my team during Celebration, that is January 3rd to March 31st, you will receive this sweet little paper trimmer. It's a mini paper trimmer, which is awesome if you're going to the cottage and you just need a little, oh, I'm just going to grab one of your scraps, Doreen.
Okay.
You know, if you just need something, a little traveler paper cutter, it cuts beautifully. It's got a finger guard. I love this little thing. I use it a lot. You're also going to receive this stunning paper, what would you call that? A paper...
6x6 bundle.
Well, I know, but... Sampler, that's the word I was looking for. So there's birthday, golf, flowers, more birthday. I love this dress. What's this dressed up one? My goodness, I can't remember. My brain is, we've just made so many cards this weekend. my brain is burnt out. From the Poppy selection also. Beautiful, beautiful. And you get, oh, it doesn't tell you how many are in here.
I think.
Oh, 48. Sorry, it does.
48. I thought it was 40.
48 pieces, 6 by 6, and of course they're all double-sided. Look at the plaids. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. So when you sign up on the team in January, February, and March, you will receive these 2 as a bonus gift, plus any stamp set of your choice. And also, starting in, Doreen, do you have that other little booklet? Yeah. Yes. And then also starting January 3rd till March 31st. Oh, no, sorry. This one goes to June. From January 3rd to June, not sure, 2nd or 3rd. This mini catalog will be available. And one of the things that's in the mini catalog is the beautiful heartfelt combination that you saw today. Oh, and if you join our team, you aren't obligated to do parties or classes or videos or anything like that. Basically, you can join just as a hobbyist and earn 20% off of your products. So it's kind of like a discount shopping. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a lot of fun. Have a great day, and visit me on www.crittersandinc.com. Thanks so much.